All right, and with Mark, we'll start first, talk about the 130th year celebration. It's the birthday today, obviously Saturday the game, former players coming back. Who would have thought 130 years ago Forest Green would be playing League Two football and challenging for League One?
Yeah, it just shows, what you can achieve with a bit of hard work, bit of endeavour, but without all of those old players and things that have gone in the past, none of it would be possible.
Dale Bennett's coming back tomorrow. He was always a popular figure here. One of your former players?
Yeah, it's sad that he's had to retire. He was a good servant to the club, Dale. He was part of the boys that got us promoted. Brilliant group of players, and it'd be good to see him, and I know he's got business interests that are doing really well, so long may that continue.
You've been here a long time, not quite 130 years, but this club's been a big part of your life, hasn't it, as a player?
Yeah, for a couple of a spell as a player, and I wouldn't say 3 and a bit years is a long time, but it is in football, and so yeah, you start to become part of the furniture, don't you? And long may that continue as well.
And what a memorable season you had in the National League as a gritty midfielder who could also chip in with a few goals.
Yeah, enjoyed it. We had a good, we part time then, and it was tough to compete with some of the big clubs, but we managed to stay in it.
Yeah. Fast forward to now, let's just briefly look back on Morecambe on Tuesday night. Your thoughts on that?
I said at the time it was a perfect away performance. It was everything we wanted to achieve, tactically and physically. I know we could have played Jack from the start. I know we could have played Aaron Collins from the start, but we chose not to for certain reasons, and it worked, and we managed to keep both of them fresh for Saturday. Yeah.
Do you now have a handle on what is your starting 11, or do you still view it as it's a squad game?
It's definitely a squad game because we have an awful lot of games coming up, and the boys that are not in the team at the minute have to be ready. They have to concentrate, and it showed the effect that boys that come off the bench can have the other night. It can be devastating. And the boys that come off the bench, they have to be ready, and they have to have that effect. Last Saturday we didn't have as much an effect as when we came off the bench, but on the other night at Morecambe we certainly did, and it's important that those boys understand that.
Yeah, I guess we can call these players that come on game changers.
There's a bit of a trend, isn't there? People are calling them finishers, game changers. They're just players that are at the moment not in the team, and got to work even harder. So in training I expect them to work really hard and give me a problem, because sooner or later they will get an opportunity through suspension, through injury, loss of form. I have to be ready.
Yeah. You said to me after the whistle, you were staying overnight in Morecambe. The players were going to jump in the Cairo chamber, and well, if I jumped in it, I would definitely lose weight. But it's a good thing to refresh the body.
Yeah, you're trying to gain any small margin you can, and it's difficult when you travel that far north. To get back at a reasonable time where the players can catch them on their sleep. So we tried to, instead of staying the night before, we stayed the night of the game so that they could sleep, get up at a reasonable time, have their breakfast and travel home, and then have a rest day.
So with that in mind, are the players fresh in mind and body now?
They should be. We'll find out tomorrow. If we can start like we did last Saturday, then that'll be fantastic. So I was so impressed with the first 60 minutes last year. And if we can recapture that and make it last a little bit longer, then we'll be all right.
Yeah. Moving on to Crewe on Saturday, another big game, but one you must be relishing. Top of the table clash.
Yeah, of course. Looking forward to it. It's two really good football teams. They've had a great start to the season. Got some good players. Got a lot of rotation in their team, and you can tell that their players are coached, or the team. You can tell that the team is coached. The way they play, the way they move. It's not about individuals. It's about the whole team moving together, with and without the ball. They're not dissimilar to what we try and do.
Are you surprised how well they started this season?
Not really. If you catch Crewe on a wrong day, they can make you look silly. And we had 2 great games against them last year. Probably stopped us getting automatic promotion up there in the Hale, and the rain when we were 3-1 up. So they've got some good players, but so have we.
Only Man City and Liverpool have scored more goals than Crewe, so they're real sharpshooters, but obviously yourselves, most clean sheets in League Two, so it's an interesting matchup.
I think we've got the most clean sheets in England, haven't we? One of them. So fair play. Should be a good game then. I just hope we can do ourselves justice and give a good account of ourselves against a really good team.
Yeah. Crewe have always been known as a footballing team. Do they still possess that football ethos of passing the ball?
Yeah, I can remember playing against them. You know, Dario Gradi, the manager, and the players that they produced. You know, you look back at some of the names and the way they played was always difficult to play against them. Obviously, the manager Dave was a player there as well, and he obviously has carried that on, and they are really difficult to play against.
Yeah. What are the players that your defenders and the rest of the team are going to have to nullify on Saturday? Who sort of stands out for you?
Well, they've got a lot of threats all over the pitch. Obviously, the centre forward is scoring goals. Porter, the left winger, Kirk is on his day is a live wire, a handful. They've got a lot of good threats. Ainley, people like that. The midfield player, Paul Green, experienced. He drives the team forward. So, listen, for us to win, we have to play well, and that's the aim.
Yeah, they've got a former Forest Green player in their squad as well, Daniel Powell, who was here as a youngster under Dave Hockaday. Great player in his time there. Is he still a threat?
He's injured, I think, at the moment,
right.
But he's very, very quick. Daniel, I know him, and when he's fit and fiery, he's a big threat.
Yeah, but these are the games you, as a manager and as players, should want to be involved in. I mean, you've got another tasty one next week down the road against Cheltenham.
And fans, hopefully. Yeah. It's one the fans should want to be involved with. You know, last Saturday the atmosphere was good against Mansfield, and we need that every week. It's you know, when we go away from home, most places the atmosphere is rocking, and we need that. We need our players to experience that, especially at home.
Yeah. You look at the League Two table at the moment; it's very, very congested. A win can take you to the top. A defeat can drop you to 5th or 6th. A little bit like the top of the Championship.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a gap growing, isn't there, from 8th downwards? You know, so if you can get into that group and be consistent, you can start to take your pressure off you a little bit in terms of you knowing you're going to be in and around the playoffs, and then try and kick on and aim for the top 3. But it's a really even league this year, I think.
Yeah. I just want to mention Matty Stevens. How pleased have you been with Matty? I know he's not delivering in terms of goals quite yet, but his general all-round play.
We've asked him to do something a little bit different than he's been used to in terms of defensively, his position defensively, or when we haven't got the ball. I think he's more disciplined than, say, Aaron Collins in that respect. But his work rate is he'll be the biggest distance coverer probably tomorrow again, and I've been really pleased with him. I think he's done great. Great lad, works his socks off. It's all about the team for him. It's what the team achieves. He's not worried. Of course, he wants to score, but if we win, he's delighted. Yeah,
I'm just going to run through the players that have been struggling with little knocks at the moment. If you could give us an update. How's Matt Mills?
Matt Mills is probably a week's training away. He's back running, back outside on the pitch. So he's probably a week away, but we want to make sure when he's back this time, he's back and he stays back for the rest of the season.
I spotted Nathan McGinley on Tuesday at Morecambe doing a bit of a warm-up. How's Nathan?
Yeah, he's fit. He's involved in the squad tomorrow.
Yeah. Dale Grubb still long-term, I
assume?
Yeah,
Dale's out for a while with his thigh.
And finally, how's George Williams' rehab going? When are we likely to see George kicking a football?
I don't know. It's a slow one. It was a nasty injury in terms of the break and the ligament damage. So we're still waiting for his wound to heal, and so he can crack on with his rehab.
And how's his morale? How's he around the place? I've seen him around. He's still smiling.
Yeah, he's been good. Just got to keep picking him up because he sees what the boys are doing on the pitch, and he wants to go and help them, but he understands that he might be one that, come the running, is a big threat for us.
Last one from the FA Cup draw earlier in the week. It's now transpired that you'll be playing Billericay at home. Thoughts on that one?
makes a change from the draws we usually get. We usually get a good League One team away, and we're the underdogs, and it becomes a tough game for us. But we get a non-league team from 2 leagues below that we're expected to beat. So it gives us an opportunity to get into the second round, but in no way will be underestimating Billericay, because they've got some good players. And I've been listening to the manager on TalkSport this week, Jamie O'Hara, and I know that he's doing his homework on us, and we'll be doing the same on them. And when the game does come around, we'll be leaving no stone unturned to make sure we do everything we can to get through the tie.
There has been a lot of razzmatazz around Billericay. I think it's starting to change a little bit now. Gavin Gunning's gone, Matt Reed's gone, so obviously Jamie O'Hara's going to have to do it in maybe a slightly different way.
Yeah, they're obviously paying those kind of players incredible wages for that level, and I think now they've got a smaller squad together that's more tight and more relevant in terms of their structure to the level they're at. I'm sure Jamie will be trying to build a real close-knit group there with a good spirit. And if you've got good players in that as well, you can